Stop right there. If you have old Canadian pennies, this video could be very important for you. Today, we're going to explore some fascinating 1-cent coins from Canada, featuring Queen Elizabeth II and the famous DG Regina inscription. These coins may look common, but some versions can be valuable and worth much more than you think. So make sure you watch this video till the end, because you might already have one of these rare coins in your collection. The 1987 Canada 1-cent coin with the inscription Elizabeth II D times G times Regina is a classic copper penny from the later years of Canadian small cent circulation. This coin represents a long-standing tradition in Canadian coinage, combining royal portraiture with national symbolism. The Latin phrase D times G times Regina stands for Dei Gratia Regina, meaning by the grace of God, Queen, referring to Queen Elizabeth II as a monarch of Canada. You missed her. This coin was issued in 1987 by the Royal Canadian Mint and belongs to the series used between 1982 and 1989, which featured modified design to help visually impaired users identify coins more easily. The coin is made primarily of bronze, about 98% copper with small amounts of tin and zinc, giving it its characteristic reddish-brown color. It weighs approximately 2.5 grams and has a diameter of 19.1 millimeters, with a smooth, plain, edge and metal alignment. CoinsandCanada.com+1. On the obverse front side, the coin features a right-facing portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machen. This portrait shows the Queen wearing a tiara and reflects the second major effigy use on Canadian coins during her reign. Surrounding the portrait is the inscription Elizabeth II D times G times Regina, emphasizing her royal authority. This design remained in use for decades and is widely recognized among collectors. All Numis. The reverse backside of the coin displays one of Canada's most iconic symbols, two maple leaves attached to a single twig, designed by G.E. Kruger. The maple leaf has long been associated with Canadian identity, representing unity, nature, and national pride. The denomination 1 cent appears above the leaves, while the word Canada and the year 1987 are also clearly inscribed. All Numis. In terms of production, the 1987 penny had a very large mintage of approximately 774 million coins, making it a common circulation coin rather than a rare collectible. Because of this high production, most examples are not considered rare today. However, coins in uncirculated or high-grade condition can still be of interest to collectors, especially those building complete sets of Canadian pennies. CoinsandCanada.com. The value of this coin today generally remains low due to its abundance. In circulated condition, it is often worth only a few cents, while well-preserved or uncirculated examples may reach around 10 cents to $1 or slightly more, depending on quality. Rare mint-state versions with exceptional grading can sometimes achieve higher prices among collectors. Veronum+1. An interesting historical aspect of this coin is that it belongs to the final decades of Canada's 1-cent coin era. Canada eventually discontinued the penny in 2012, making coins like the 1987 issue part of a now-ended chapter in Canadian currency history. These coins are no longer used in everyday transactions, but remain legal tender and are often kept for collecting or nostalgia. Overall, the 1987 Canadian 1-cent coin is not rare in terms of value, but it holds strong historical and cultural importance. It reflects Canada's heritage, the long reign of Queen Elizabeth II, and the enduring symbolism of the maple leaf. For collectors, it serves as a meaningful piece of a larger numismatic journey, especially for those interested in modern Canadian coinage. The 1998 Canada 1-cent coin bearing the inscription Elizabeth II D times G times Regina is part of the latest circulating bronze-plated steel penny series issued by Canada before the denomination was eventually discontinued. This coin reflects both continuity and transition in Canadian coinage, as it retains traditional design elements while incorporating modern minting technology. The Latin inscription D times G times Regina translates to Dei Gratia Regina, meaning by the grace of God, Queen, referring to Queen Elizabeth II, who served as Canada's monarch for decades. This phrase has appeared on Canadian coins throughout her reign, and signifies the country's constitutional monarchy and historical ties to the British Crown. The coin was issued in 1998 by the Royal Canadian Mint, one of the world's most respected minting institutions. By this time, the mint had begun transitioning from solid bronze coins to copper-plated zinc or steel compositions, primarily to reduce production costs and improve durability. The 1998 penny is typically composed of copper-plated zinc, giving it the familiar copper color while being lighter and more economical than earlier bronze issues. It weighs approximately 2.25 grams and has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters, slightly adjusted compared to older pennies. The coin features a smooth edge and metal alignment, consistent with modern minting standards. On the obverse front side, the coin features the elegant right-facing portrait of Queen Elizabeth II designed by Dora de Petterhunt, which was introduced in 1990. This effigy replaced the earlier Arnold Machin portrait and presents a more mature and dignified representation of the Queen. She is shown wearing a diadem rather than a crown, symbolizing a refined and modernized royal image. Surrounding the portrait is the inscription Elizabeth II D times G times Regina, carefully engraved in a circular pattern. This design remained in use until 2003, making it one of the most recognizable portraits among late 20th century Canadian coins. The reverse backside of the coin continues to feature the iconic design created by G.E. Krugergray, which shows two maple leaves attached to a single twig. This design has been a defining symbol of Canadian 1-cent coins since 1937 and represents unity, natural beauty, and national identity. Above the leaves appears the denomination 1 cent, while Canada is inscribed below, along with the year 1998. The maple leaf motif is deeply connected to Canadian heritage and is also prominently featured on the national flag, reinforcing the coin's symbolic importance. In terms of production, the 1998 Canadian penny had a very large mintage, estimated at over 800 million coins, making it extremely common in circulation at the time. Due to this high mintage, most examples of the coin are not considered rare or highly valuable today. However, collectors may still seek out coins in uncirculated, mint state, condition, as well as those with unique characteristics such as minting errors, unusual toning, or exceptional strike quality. Coins that have been preserved in original rolls or sets may command slightly higher prices in the numismatic market. The value of a 1998 Canada 1-cent coin today is generally modest. In circulated condition, it is typically worth only its face value or slightly above, often around 1 cent to 10 cents CAD. Uncirculated examples may range from 25 cents to $1 Canadian or more, depending on their grade and condition. Exceptionally high-grade coins certified by professional grading services can sometimes achieve higher premiums, especially if they exhibit flawless surfaces and strong luster. An important aspect of this coin is its place in the broader timeline of Canadian currency. By the late 1990s, the 1-cent coin was becoming increasingly costly to produce relative to its face value. This economic reality eventually led to the elimination of the Canadian penny in 2012, when the government officially ceased production and removed it from circulation. As a result, coins like the 1998 issue are now part of a discontinued denomination, adding a layer of historical significance despite their low monetary value. From a collector's perspective, the 1998 penny is often included in date runs or complete sets of Canadian 1-cent coins, especially those focusing on the Queen Elizabeth II era. While it may not be rare, it serves as an essential piece in understanding the evolution of Canada's coinage, particularly the shift toward cost-efficient materials and modern minting techniques. It also reflects the enduring legacy of Queen Elizabeth II, whose portrait appeared on Canadian coins for more than half a century. Overall, the 1998 Canada 1-cent coin is a meaningful representation of late 20th century Canadian numismatics. It combines historical continuity with subtle modernization, showcasing both the country's traditions and its practical adaptations to changing economic conditions. Although its financial value remains low, its cultural and historical importance ensures that it remains a valued collectible among coin enthusiasts and historians alike. The 1980 Canada 1-cent coin with the inscription Elizabeth II D times G times Regina is an important and widely collected piece from the era of Queen Elizabeth II's early coinage in Canada. This coin reflects both tradition and stability in Canadian currency during the late 20th century. The Latin phrase D times G times Regina stands for Dei Gratia Regina, which translates to by the grace of God, Queen. This inscription emphasizes the constitutional monarchy of Canada and acknowledges Queen Elizabeth II as a reigning monarch at the time. Coins bearing this legend are part of a long-standing tradition inherited from British coinage, reinforcing Canada's historical connection to the Crown. The 1981 cent coin was produced by the Royal Canadian Mint, which has been responsible for minting Canada's coinage since 1908. During this period, the Mint focused on producing durable and visually distinct coins that could withstand heavy circulation. The 1980 penny is composed primarily of bronze, consisting of approximately 98% copper with small amounts of tin and zinc. This composition gives the coin its rich reddish-brown color and relatively solid feel. It weighs about 3.24 grams and has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters, which was standard for Canadian pennies of that era. The coin features a plain edge and is struck with metal alignment, meaning the obverse and reverse are aligned upright when flipped vertically. On the obverse front side, the coin features a portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machen. This portrait, often referred to as a Machen effigy, shows the Queen facing right and wearing the girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. It is one of the most iconic and widely used portraits of the Queen on Commonwealth coinage. The surrounding inscription, Elizabeth II D times G times Regina, is arranged in a circular pattern around the edge of the coin. This effigy was used on Canadian coins from 1965 until 1989, making it a defining feature of coins from this period. The reverse backside of the coin displays a classic design by G.E. Kruger, featuring two maple leaves on a single twig. This design has been used on Canadian 1-cent coins since 1937 and is one of the most recognizable symbols of Canada. The maple leaf represents unity, peace, and the natural beauty of the country. Above the leaves, the denomination 1 cent is clearly inscribed, while the word Canada appears below along with the year 1980. The simplicity and elegance of this design have contributed to its longevity and popularity among collectors. In terms of mintage, the 1980 Canadian penny was produced in very large numbers, with over 600 million coins struck for circulation. This high mintage means that the coin is quite common and can still be found in many collections today. Because of its abundance, it is not considered a rare coin. However, its value can vary depending on its condition. Coins that have been heavily circulated typically show wear, scratches, and discoloration, while those in better condition retain more of their original luster and detail. The value of a 1980 Canada 1-cent coin is generally modest. In circulated condition, it is usually worth only a few cents above face value. However, coins in uncirculated or no perfect condition can be worth more, sometimes ranging from 25 cents to $2 or higher, depending on their grade. Coins that have been professionally graded and certified in high mint state grades, such as MS-65 or above, may command even higher prices among serious collectors. Additionally, coins with unusual features, such as minting errors or distinctive toning, can be more valuable and sought after in the numismatic market. Historically, the 1980 penny belongs to a period when the 1-cent coin was still an essential part of everyday transactions in Canada. Pennies were widely used for small purchases and played a significant role in the country's economy. However, over time, rising production costs and decreasing purchasing power led to debates about the usefulness of the penny. These discussions eventually resulted in the discontinuation of the Canadian 1-cent coin in 2012, marking the end of an era. Coins like the 1980 issue are now reminders of a time when even the smallest denomination held practical value in daily life. From a collector's perspective, the 1980 Canada 1-cent coin is an important part of any collection focusing on Canadian currency or the reign of Queen Elizabeth II. While it may not be rare or highly valuable, it serves as a key piece in completing date sets and understanding the evolution of Canadian coinage. Collectors often seek examples with strong detail, minimal wear, and attractive coloration, as these qualities enhance a coin's appeal and potential value. Overall, the 1980 Canadian 1-cent coin is a classic example of traditional coin design and craftsmanship. It combines the enduring image of Queen Elizabeth II with the iconic maple leaf symbol, representing both the nation's heritage and its natural identity. Although its monetary value is relatively low due to its high mintage, its historical and cultural significance make it a meaningful and collectible piece for numismatists around the world. The 2011 Canada 1-cent coin with the inscription Elizabeth II D times G times Regina represents one of the final issues of the Canadian penny before its historic withdrawal from circulation. This coin carries deep historical significance because it belongs to the closing chapter of a denomination that had been part of Canada's monetary system for over a century. The Latin legend D times G times Regina stands for Dei Gratia Regina, meaning by the grace of God, Queen, traditional inscription used on coins of monarchies to affirm the sovereign's authority. In this case, it refers to Queen Elizabeth II, whose image appeared on Canadian coinage throughout her long reign, making her one of the most recognized figures in global numismatics. The 2011 penny was minted by the Royal Canadian Mint, which by this time had adopted highly modern minting processes and materials. Unlike earlier bronze pennies, the 2011 issue is made of multiply plated steel, consisting of a steel core coated with layers of nickel and copper plating. This composition gives the coin its familiar copper appearance while significantly reducing production costs and improving durability. The coin weighs approximately 2.35 grams and has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters, maintaining the standard size of Canadian 1-cent coins. The edge is smooth, and the coin is struck with metal alignment, ensuring consistency with other modern Canadian coins. On the obverse front side, the coin features a portrait of Queen Elizabeth II designed by Susanna Blunt, which was introduced in 2003. This effigy presents a more realistic and contemporary depiction of the Queen compared to earlier designs. Notably, she is shown without a crown, reflecting a modern and approachable image. The inscription Elizabeth II D times G times Regina surrounds the portrait, maintaining the traditional royal legend. This design was used on Canadian coins during the final decade of the penny production and is widely recognized by collectors as the last definitive portrait of the Queen on circulating Canadian coinage. The reverse, backside, of the 2011 penny continues to display the classic design created by G. E. Kruger, featuring 2 maple leaves attached to a single twig. This design had been in use since 1937 and became one of the most enduring symbols of Canadian identity. The maple leaf is a powerful national emblem, representing unity, peace, and the natural beauty of Canada. Above the leaves appears the denomination 1 cent, while the word Canada and the year 2011 are inscribed below. The simplicity and elegance of this design contributed to its longevity and widespread recognition. In terms of mintage, the 2011 Canadian penny was produced in very large numbers, with over 500 million coins struck for circulation. Despite being one of the final issues, it is not considered rare due to this high production volume. However, its significance lies in its status as one of the last circulating pennies before Canada officially discontinued the denomination in 2012. This gives the 2011 coin a special place in Canadian numismatic history, as it represents the end of an era. The value of a 2011 Canada 1-cent coin is generally modest in the current market. In circulated condition, it is typically worth only its face value or slightly more, often around 1 cent to 10 cents CAD. Uncirculated examples, especially those with bright luster and no visible wear, may be valued between 25 cents and $1 or higher, depending on their grade. Coins that are professionally graded and preserved in high mint state conditions can command higher premiums, particularly among collectors seeking top-quality examples for their collections. Additionally, any coins with minting errors or unusual characteristics may attract greater interest and value. A key historical aspect of the 2011 penny is its connection to the abolition of the 1-cent coin in Canada, which officially took place in 2012. Rising production costs and the declining purchasing power of the penny led the Canadian government to phase it out. Although the coins remain legal tender, they are no longer used in everyday transactions, and cash purchases are typically rounded to the nearest 5 cents. As a result, coins like the 2011 issue have become collectible items and reminders of a bygone era in Canadian commerce. From a collector's perspective, the 2011 Canada 1-cent coin holds particular importance as one of the last regular issue pennies. It is often included in complete date sets of Canadian 1-cent coins and is especially valued by collectors who focus on modern coinage or the reign of Queen Elizabeth II. While it may not be rare in terms of scarcity, its historical significance and symbolic role make it an essential piece for understanding the evolution and eventual discontinuation of Canada's smallest denomination. Overall, the 2011 Canadian 1-cent coin is more than just a low-value piece of currency. It is a symbol of transition and conclusion in Canadian monetary history. It combines modern minting technology with a timeless design, preserving the legacy of the maple leaf and the image of Queen Elizabeth II. Although its monetary value remains relatively low due to its high mintage, its importance as one of the final pennies ensures that it will continue to be appreciated by collectors and historians for years to come.